You're listening to Midweek Politics with Dave Pakman.
Welcome back to Midweek Politics. We're here with Ray Drewnowski, political director for Pioneer Valley Young Democrats here in Massachusetts, and really, you had a front row seat to this incredible special election that we had here in Massachusetts that did not go the way that you and I and many others wanted it, and I don't know about expected to go, but a disappointment for sure.
It was a disappointment, yes.
Tell me about your day-to-day with the Martha Coakley campaign, which ended up coming short by about 109,000 votes in yesterday's election, 52% for Scott Brown, 47% for Martha Coakley. Fortunately, the votes that the third-party candidate garnered did not make the difference, unlike Florida with Ralph Nader in the year 2000. What was your day-to-day with her campaign?
I worked mostly with SEAU 1199 as an organizer.
And that's one of the largest unions in the country.
It is, yes. So 1199 SEAU in Massachusetts represents healthcare workers. And so we as a statewide union from the many different locals endorsed her early on in the race. So we got on board and we started making phone calls. We started going to rallies. We started organizing around this campaign, mostly perhaps for the importance of the healthcare that's certainly on the plate.
So healthcare came to the forefront of this election pretty early on, and the argument to be made was with 60 votes, the Democrats can prevent a filibuster when it comes to health care in the Senate. And after losing Ted Kennedy, there were only 59 Democratic votes. So essentially, this election was going to determine if the Republicans could have a 41st vote, which would be enough to prevent even a vote on health care. And this was even more important in Massachusetts because we have, for years now, had a health care mandate, which has its pluses and its minuses. The minuses being when people make a little bit too much to qualify for free care and end up choosing to pay a fine instead of buying health care. A disaster, which we could discuss the merits of that in another show. But in your opinion, do you think that it's actually the case that now we are not going to get health care through? I've been reading about 3 or 4 ways that it's not going to matter that Scott Brown won.
Yeah, I don't think that health care is over. Really and truly, I think we were all a little devastated last night, but we don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Healthcare is not over. Scott Brown certainly ran a fine campaign, but one of the things that I will say is that Scott Brown really didn't run as a Republican. Look on his website, look at his signs. There was nothing in his stuff about what political affiliation he was with, and even last night. On his acceptance speech, there was no mention of his political party.
You're right. However, abortion, gay marriage, and health care,
right.
He certainly didn't agree with any Democrats on any of those issues, right? Right.
But what we're looking at is his campaign looked at the independent vote, and the independent vote is 50-something% in this Commonwealth. People, I think that Massachusetts is a blue state. Well, we've had 16 years of Republican governors. We can't forget that. So this was a great technique, I will say, to Scott Brown. He went for the independents. But getting back to healthcare isn't over. Those independents are not going to just sit idly by and wait. And for Scott Brown to think that he can go and redraw healthcare, I think is wrong. So I don't think that it's over. I think this is just a little bump in the road, and we need to just continue to move forward.
There's a few options on the table right now to actually get the healthcare bill that has been proposed, which, by the way, is not one that on this show we are particularly thrilled with, given the deterioration and watering down of it. But skipping over that, there could be a vote maybe done before Scott Brown actually takes office. It's not clear how likely that is. Another strategy would be not to change the Senate bill. The House could just say, you know what, instead of conference and we'll come up with a combined bill, we'll just take the Senate bill to prevent the Senate even getting a chance to vote on it again. Are either of those likely? Is a third option likely?
Well, I've heard the president this morning say that health care needs to wait for Senator-elect Brown to come to Washington. So I don't think that the U.S. Senate is going to do any swift backdoor move at all.
Would you like them to?
No.
So you think that there should be a weight here, and whatever the repercussions of having Brown there are, that's what they are.
Yeah, I think, we have to respect the democratic process, whatever side you're on. I respect the democratic process. People voted. We had a huge turnout in this election, which we were so concerned about, both on the campaign level, at a union level. How are we going to motivate people to vote? And the numbers are astounding. And so I think
when you say how many people voted,
like the voter turnout yesterday was huge.
Mm-hmm.
And I myself personally was knocking on doors until 8 o'clock to make sure that every person that I could possibly get to vote made sure that they did. So we need to pay attention to that. People's voices have been heard. And I don't think that the Senate is just going to push something through. That would be a mistake.